I mean, was I hallucinating during that trailer? Because, oh my god! Happy bank holiday, Easter Monday. Yeah, I'm losing track of days now, seeing as I've had 4 whole days off work. I hope you've all had a lovely one, and I hope that yesterday was your favourite. I wonder why. As you can tell by this title, I am still so about the trailer that I've just witnessed. I should be talking about the Sea Devils, or the Legend of the Sea Devils. I was really excited for that. My phone's going to be a bit of annoyance to me because I've just sent so many messages to people. I was really wanting to do a video on a review of the Legend of the Sea Devils. I just can't seem to do it, purely because I feel like it's going to be a bit of a negative video, and I don't really want that. I would rather have something that I can honestly say I've rewatched it, I've gone through everything, because usually on a rewatch my opinion changes and I can have a bit more of an all-round view. I just haven't really got around to it. I've been eating my body weight in chocolate and really been lounging around, hence why I'm wearing the tracksuit. Also, really need to point out that I haven't done a video in a very long time. I'm extremely rusty, so apologies for that. In fact, you will see the last time I did any sort of video was for this. It's been a while. I'll get round to the whole thing on Flux and what I thought of that, but I'm going to have to do it in another video because it's going to take me ages. So, should we just get into it? I've got a new book, by the way, which... Oh, sorry, I think I've done my back in by dancing too much when I went out the other day. I've got a new book and it's got so many things written down in it, so I'm just going to have to go through 2 pages. Nearly 3, but I'll stick it to 2, shall I? So quickly, before I do like more of an in-depth breakdown, we've got Daleks. They're always going to come back. That's not an issue to me. We've got Cybermen. They weren't an issue to me. They're always going to come back too. Really happy to see a Shard in there though. I hope that that does equate to something, that's not just a cheap visual or some sort of throwback. But I'll be going through screenshots and then breaking it down that way. So I'll get onto other things that you'll probably be thinking, okay, we'll just get on with it. Then we've got the Master. I was really happy to see all 3 of those. They are the classic, no pun intended, but classic villains in every Doctor Who finale story. It's usually the Master, the Daleks, or... Daleks? Master, the Daleks, or the Cybermen in those. So they either come back individually or as a whole. So to see all 3 of them is great. The Daleks look like they have come back in a way that is sort of pre any Dalek story we've had with Whittaker's run, and the only reason I say that is because I noticed the plungers are back, which I always liked. They're always a sort of thing that the Daleks were mocked for, so I'm quite happy to see that design back. I've seen a lot of people say that the bronze Daleks need to sort of be done with and that we need a new Dalek design. In my opinion, if it ain't broke, just do not fix it. I don't think you need to do that, so keep them as they are, and we'll forget about the whole SAS Daleks comment that was made at one point, which I really didn't like, but it's fine. I'll keep that there. Saying that, maybe I do like different Dalek designs. For example, Revolution of the Daleks. Oh my god, those designs were stunning, spectacular. I loved it. And if that is going to be the whole new design, I mean, I'm kind of sad that it didn't turn out to be the design for Flux, but if that would be the new design, I wouldn't have an issue with it. Otherwise, just keep to the bronze Daleks. I like them. Yeah, keep them. That'd be great. I wouldn't mind that at all. I personally don't think they're going to have anything to do with the Doctor dying or regenerating. I kind of feel like the Master's sort of, I want to say gleefully announced that the Doctor won't be staying alive for very long, but really deep down, I'll go back to another video that I did. I don't know if it gets posted up here or up here because everything's so mirrored. The Master never really likes the Doctor when they die. They're besties deep down. Well, The best is in my head anyway. So I'm talking about all three of them and being very happy to see them, even though they are reused so much, but that's fine. Also, I audibly screamed. I don't do that very often, but I was screaming and I was shaking, and I'm not even that ashamed to say that my eyes were welling up. I'm gonna guess that you know why that was the case, but I'll move on to them in a moment. When I saw Kate Stewart turn up, you'll notice she's got the Cybermen's hands on her shoulders, obviously guiding her somewhere. And I don't know if this is me just being so sentimental. I like Kate. I'm not a die-hard fan of hers. I'm not even as much of a fan as other people tend to be when it comes to Kate. Not because I don't like her. I'm obviously just missing something that everyone else gets when it comes to her being shown in any sort of trailer. And what would really make me happy, going back to the sentimental thing, is if one of those Cybermen turned out to be the Brigadier. I know it was a sweet moment that was sort of done in Death in Heaven, just as a, you know, he's still here and he's still looking after her. That was a really, really lovely moment. But can you imagine? That would be lovely, because the Brigadier seemed to still know that he was the Brigadier even in Cyberman form, so that was really nice. If that turned out to be the case, I would be really, really happy. Speaking of which, let's please make sure, please make sure that characters are being done well. I'll get on to nitpicks and pros and cons and all that sort of thing at the end of the video, but I just want to make sure that she's done justice in this, because she has so much potential that we could get out of her in this special. So really hoping that she's going to be a good one. So okay, I've talked about Master, I've talked about the Daleks, talked about the Cybermen, talked a little bit about Kate, but the biggie, when I first saw it, and I wasn't necessarily paying that much attention, I was being a bit of a muppet by not watching it properly, because I was on my phone, actually on Twitter, because I was just sort of scrolling past as you do. So I didn't notice Tegan straight away. I didn't even see her say Ace or hear her say Ace, and it was only when I glanced over and saw Sophie Aldred there that that's when my scream happened. Oh my god, bringing characters back, I've never been against. I've always said it's purely fan service, but I think that that's justified, because we as fans do get excited. It's quite obvious from the reaction that's been going on recently. In the past 24 hours, I've seen nothing but videos and tweets and artwork and interviews and people really excited, and that makes me so happy. But to see Tegan and to see Ace is fantastic. I'm not as well versed with Davison's Doctor or McCoy's Doctor. I love them both, but the first time, should I say, that I really got into the Fifth Doctor is actually Big Finish's Spare Parts audio. Listened to it on a plane to somewhere, I can't remember, it was so long ago, and fell in love with that Doctor there. So I'm really excited to see Tegan and really see what she's all about. I was already very aware of Ace. I think she was actually the inspiration for Rose, at least partly anyway. She's got a streetwise attitude about her, which I just adore, and I loved. It's one of those blink and you'll miss it, but enough people caught it, and I'm so happy of her beating Seven Bells out of a Dalek. Great, that goes straight back to the time when she was beating a Dalek up with a baseball bat. I remember once in another video I was concerned because I said, since when do you defeat Daleks with a bullet? But I suppose a baseball bat kind of fits into that remit. Either way, super happy. I am more than excited, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a few negatives to talk about, as good as this trailer is. Whatever happens, whether that's the case or not, I really am not that bothered, as long as Chibnall doesn't screw this up. And unfortunately, that seems to be the case. It starts out really well, like every episode, or Flux, for example, starts out really well, and then it's almost like he had all these ideas and then couldn't put them all together in time, so we had to just tie it up in a really shoddy bow. So there's that, and I hope that that's not going to be the case this time. This is your penultimate, or if not last episode. Please don't mess this up. Tegan and Ace shooting up the place like the absolute queens that they are. So happy. I saw so much on Twitter. I saw things about how Tegan has lost the most. I'm not laughing at that, but just how she's lost the most. She's been personally affected by the Daleks and the Cybermen, so that will be a bit of a redeeming moment for her. I love that they're so readily available with their guns as well. Not something that I feel like the 5th or the 7th Doctor would have too much of an issue with, actually. Speaking of which, does that mean that they're working for UNIT? Or at least they've got their own little gang? Because I feel like, oh, God bless her, I feel like if Elizabeth Sladen was still alive and Sarah Jane was incorporated into this, which I'm pretty sure she would be if she hadn't sadly passed away, you know, that time ago, that they would be working together. And I kind of feel like that would be just a great little unit of just all past companions coming together. I'll put it on my Twitter, I'll post it somewhere here, where I said, I know I'm asking far too much, but if we're going to have Tegan and Ace back, not that I want to downplay them or make their roles any less than they are already, because it's already going to be epic with those two in there, but I would love to see Susan back, and I would love to see River back. Not quite sure how you do River, but Susan's totally an option. And the Courier of Who, I don't know if you follow him or if you have subscribed to him. If you haven't, then that's criminal. I'm going to post his links and Twitter account down here as well, so you know, please go give him a watch and a follow, and go and subscribe to him. He's excellent. He said to me, or at least posted or commented underneath, that Chibnall loves spoilers, or at least being spoiler free anyway. Sorry, he loves surprises, and that's one thing that I can say about the Chibnall era that I really enjoy, is that no matter what, he's managed to keep things under wraps, and said if the case is that more people are going to be about, then because Chibnall's so spoiler free in terms of what he reveals in trailers and things that he leaks, that we could be in for a nice little ride. Susan and River are, of course, not exactly only who I want to come back. I would love to see Jo Martin. I say it all the time. I love her so much. I would be so over the moon to see her reprise her role in there somewhere. Unless, of course, she's the 14th Doctor. That's another video. But to see her would be lovely. I'd really enjoy that. She has such amazing on-screen presence, and I kind of feel like we're not done with her yet. I really hope we're not done with her yet. But we see Belle and Vinda come back, which is great. I'd love to see the Carvanista as well, but I kind of, well, that's done, I suppose. And of course we see Danny in the orange spacesuit, so what's all that about? Super happy for, you know, for that, and to get into that and see what's going on there. With Belle and Vinda, of course that means that their story isn't done yet. Wonder if she's had her baby yet, but they all seem, I'm sorry, I'm so hyper, but they all seem like it's back in flux, if that makes any sense. They don't look any different. Not that they should or would, but just that they look different. So I wonder if she's had her baby yet. And I've got a feeling that might be explained in this episode. Another sort of negative thought that I've got is, I hate to say that it's my lack of faith in Chibnall. It's actually not. It's more about the task that he's assigned to himself, because there was so much going on in a trailer alone, which only lasts about, what, 30 to 50 seconds. I think it's shorter than a minute anyway. How are you going to pile that all in and make sure it all flows seamlessly, and that we don't get what we got in Flux, which was just a choppy change of all sorts? But if I'm going to get onto the one that was probably talked about more than Tegan and Ace, if that was even possible, was the last shot of the Doctor. And was she regenerating? I have seen different posts and articles. She says that she's not feeling in touch with the whole Doctor Who thing. She has. I have. And the Yaz scream that she does tore my heart into little pieces. I said that I wanted to be able to feel upset when Jodie does eventually leave, and I kind of feel like I'm gonna be, because honestly my heart broke when she screamed Yaz. But the thing that I should be getting onto, which I'm sorry I didn't before, what was that like? Someone posted on Twitter saying that it was her breaking the fob watch. I posted below saying, oh my god, please don't do that to me, because I, being me, just assumed that it would be the regeneration light that comes when they change into another incarnation. But someone then also posted a side by side of when Ruth broke the light, broke the lamp or whatever, glass, and the shot of Whittaker regenerating. They look exactly the same. I'm not up for a new regeneration sequence that looks anything different than what I'm used to with the amber hue, and this isn't an amber hue. I've watched the trailer so many times now. I think, oh hang on one second, I can even tell you, at the time of recording it was on 238,652. I think I'm that 652 that have watched it that many times on replay. So the more I see it, the more I am convinced it is not her regenerating, which I'm kind of happy about, because it just means that there's so much more that I'm going to see and that's going to be given there. I saw, and I will be doing a video on it, that there's it's going to be in the next few weeks that the new Doctor is going to be revealed, which means they've been finally cast, which is great. But I still don't want to know. I still want to be surprised. I still want to either, if it's going to be a regeneration where it's open-ended, that's fine, and I'm here for it. If it's going to be one where it's going to be revealed in Whittaker's episode or last episode, that's also fine. But I want to know at that moment, if, I've said it before and I'll say it again, if it were the case that Capaldi turned into Whittaker at that time and I had no idea about it and no one else did either, and it was a complete surprise, I would have probably been more on board with her than I was when I initially found out that she was going to be the next Doctor. Take that as you will. A lot of people don't like the fact that I say that I wasn't happy about the Doctor being a woman. I've changed my mind on that completely. It doesn't make any difference, but that's my feeling, and I'm an awful person. I think we're all quite cynical, but I'm really bad for it. Whereas something's told to me before, I automatically start making opinions. I automatically start rating a performance that they haven't even given yet, and I still go through my mind about why or why not they would make a great Doctor. And that's not a new thing for me either. We'll say it again, but I didn't like it when Eccleston turned into Tennant, when Tennant turned into Smith, who is my favourite, when Smith turned into Capaldi, and when Capaldi turned into Whittaker. My feelings on it never changed ever, and I was always really disappointed, and then ended up falling in love with them massively. So there's that. Anyway, that is my breakdown. Please let me know what you thought about the trailer and what your thoughts are now. Has it changed at all? Have you rewatched it as many times as I have? I'm sure you have. Pop them down in the comments below. I would love to know what your thoughts are. I was going to do a live, but I thought, you know what, I'll save that for another time. I'll probably even do it tonight when this is finished processing. But until next time, take care, stay super well and safe, and I will see you very, very soon.